Hi there, welcome back to the channel. This is Michael. Today we're going to talk about The Brain Drips Yellow by Moor and whether or not I went mad while reading it. So first off, I do want to say that I did get this recommended via Pax Panic's channel. She did a review on this a few months back, and the weight of her words is what sold me on this book. So I'm going to put a link below to her review as well, because I do recommend this book, and her enthusiasm is what sold me on this, and I absolutely loved this book. It took me on some twists and turns I didn't expect, and it also drove me a little bit to have nightmares in the middle of the night. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. Okay, so the book itself, you're following a man named Bill Butler. He is a father and a husband, and he works at a crappy corporate job. His job is a little weird. He looks and sounds like the CEO's grandmother. So he dresses up like the grandmother and serves tea and breakfast and lunch to the CEO. So it's a really weird, kind of shameful, position that this man's job is. And his wife doesn't really like him. His daughter's kind of distant, and he's on the path of just pretty much having his whole life break down before his eyes. So he ends up on vacation with his wife and daughter on sort of a tropical island vacation. And he tries and fails to make love to his wife. And he ends up taking his daughter to an art show. They're sort of like in this tent on the outskirts of town. And he ends up getting his sort of fortune read by sort of this weird, artsy, kind of gypsy type person. And things sort of go downhill from there. He ends up spotting this guy in the middle of the night doing capoeira, which is Brazilian martial arts, on the beach. But he thinks this man is doing some sort of weird dancing, and he envies him. He then encounters this man later on who gives him this white card, and he smells it, and the scent of memory sends him into some sort of euphoric alternate reality, possibly, or it's sort of encouraging his madness. So yeah, we sort of follow this man as he's on this sort of journey. Things get worse and worse for him. Things start breaking down. He starts analyzing his life and running over past relationships, running over his relationships with his family, his work relationships, and everything's kind of shallow and falling apart. And all this time he's getting encouraged by this capoeira man to smell these cards and sort of go into another state of reality where you might actually be a god. So it's kind of it's a very, very weird journey. The whole time I was reading it, I was very much disturbed by the fact that Moor wrote his characters so relatable that there's little tiny things that I felt in my own life had happened to me and that were happening to this character. Just conversations and just weird sort of feelings on things. So he really tapped into something. I'm curious to know if someone else reads this book, if they read the same book that I do, or if this is some sort of magic. Because there's this implied mania in this book and magic in this book that I don't know if it's real or not. Maybe it's real. Maybe this art, when art sort of borderlines magic, I love that. That's the feeling you want to get when you read a book, is that it draws you in, and you're in the character and you're not really sure what's happening. So very, very well done. Okay, so not to be too much rantiness on that. So I recommend this book for fans of Jean-Paul Sartre's Nausea, and say, a little bit of Chuck Palahniuk's Fight Club, or Guts, for that matter. There's a level of intimacy that the character has with the reader that is going to sort of appeal if you like that kind of first-person sort of like thoughts about what they're experiencing and taking that in from their point of view and watching them sort of fail at life. So, yeah, I'm not going to spoil this book's ending, but I am going to give you a trigger warning that it is very dark, very sad, and you will be affected by it afterwards. Because I definitely was. It's not a kind book. It's not kind to its characters. And you're kind of left with this emptiness inside afterwards. So thanks, PAX. Yeah, so again, I do recommend this book, An Invocation of Madness, The Brain Drips Yellow by Moor. It is a very interesting read. This is his first debut novel. I can't wait to see what this guy's got next, because he really knocked it out of the park with this. I do recommend this. Yeah, I got mine off Amazon. You can buy it there too. And look at that cover. It's a fantastic cover. So, yeah. Brain Drips Yellow. Yours will too.